I carried my drunk boss home. Her morning truth hit harder than anything. Her voice was the first thing that broke the silence of my morning, the kind of silence that arrives only after a night that shouldn't have happened. "We need to talk." 4 words. Soft, steady, almost gentle, but they felt like a blade pressed against the back of my neck. I stood in her office doorway, still smelling faintly of the perfume she spilled on my shirt when I'd carried her up the stairs last night, still seeing her head against my shoulder, still feeling the way her fingers had curled around my collar, like she trusted me with something she shouldn't have. She didn't look hungover. She didn't look embarrassed. She didn't even pretend not to remember. That was the first warning. Her eyes lifted slowly from the papers on her desk, sharp, dark, and unreadable, the kind of look that stripped the truth from you without ever asking a question. "Sit," she said. I didn't move. My grip tightened on the file in my hand. My heartbeat felt slow, too slow, like it was waiting for something, some impact, some confession, some truth I wasn't prepared to hear. Last night she had been soft, fragile, human. Now she was something else entirely. "You saved me," she said, fingers tapping once, twice against her glass table. "Do you know what that means, Daniel?" I swallowed. The room felt colder. She leaned back, lips parting just a little. "You saw a part of me no one was ever supposed to see." And then she smiled, a thin, dangerous smile that made my chest tighten with a fear I refused to admit was fear. A truth was coming. A truth I hadn't asked for. A truth I knew I wouldn't like. The memory of last night hit me harder than her words. I had found her outside the bar, barely standing. Security was trying to remove her for an argument she didn't even remember starting. People were recording. Her reputation, her entire career, hung in the balance with every shaky breath she took. So I stepped in. I carried her out. I protected her from the world and from herself. She kept whispering something against my chest. I shouldn't be alone. Don't leave. Her breath was warm on my collar. Her arm was slung around my shoulders. And in that moment, she didn't feel like my boss. She felt like someone who needed me, someone who trusted me, someone who... No. I forced the thought down. I wasn't allowed to think that. Not about her. Not when she had a relationship she never shut up about. Not when she spent months talking about her boyfriend, the future she was planning with him, the life she was certain she wanted. Except, last night she kept saying another name, a name that wasn't mine and wasn't her boyfriend's. That was the second warning. And then there was the third, the part she didn't know I'd seen, her phone lighting up with messages from her boyfriend, 30 missed calls, then silence. She didn't open any of them, not one. Instead, she grabbed my wrist, held it, begged me not to leave her. The pieces were already there, a puzzle I didn't want to solve. And now, sitting across from her in the office, I watched her open her laptop with calm precision, as if preparing a confession she had rehearsed 1,000 times. "Daniel," she said softly, "I lied to you." My stomach locked. "About him," she added, "her boyfriend, her perfect, flawless, endlessly mentioned boyfriend." Her voice cracked just once. "He's not who you think he is." "He's not," she paused, exhaled. "He's not even really in my life anymore." My jaw tightened. "Then why mention him every day?" Her eyes dropped. "Because I didn't want you to see me." My chest tightened. "See you as what?" She looked up. "As a woman who wanted you." The floor didn't fall out. It evaporated. She watched me too closely, too steadily, like she was calculating my every breath. I should have said something, anything, but all I felt was heat, anger, confusion, something deeper I didn't dare name, rolling under my skin. Wanted me. Why did she flirt with her boyfriend in front of me? Why invent stories about him bringing her flowers, cooking for her, planning trips with her? Why lie? Her voice softened. I saw how you looked at me, Daniel. And I couldn't afford that. Couldn't afford it. Not didn't want it. Couldn't afford it. Something ugly twisted in my gut. I replayed everything. Her late-night texts, the after-hours calls, the compliments she delivered like secrets, the way she asked about my daughter, the way she told me I deserved someone who appreciated me. Every moment had felt too warm, too intentional, too dangerous, and I'd ignored it. I thought she was just kind. I thought she was just lonely. I thought she was honest, but the truth was sharper. She was using me, strategically, deliberately. And last night, her body hanging on my shoulders, her breath on my neck, her fingers gripping me like I was the only man in the world, that wasn't an accident. It was an escape, a doorway she wanted to open but didn't want to take responsibility for. I felt something crack inside me. I needed answers. So later, when she stepped out of her office, I walked to her desk, opened her drawer, and checked the thing she cherished most, her phone. Locked. Protected. But her laptop wasn't. Her messages synced. And what I found made my blood run cold. A long thread of messages to her boyfriend. Messages he never replied to. Not because he was busy, because he had blocked her 3 months ago. And she kept pretending. Pretending for me. Pretending for the world. Pretending to protect herself from the truth she didn't want to see. She wanted someone else. Me. And she couldn't admit it. So she lied. Manipulated. Used. My breathing slowed. My pulse went still. Something inside me hardened. I was done being her shadow. The next morning, I placed a printed screenshot on her desk. 1 page. 1 truth. The date her boyfriend blocked her. The dozens of unanswered messages. Her desperate attempts to pretend the relationship still existed. She froze. Completely. No words. No excuses. Just silence. Her eyes lifted slowly to mine, and for the first time since I had known her, I saw fear. Real fear. Not of me, but of herself. Of her lie collapsing in front of the one person she didn't want to lose. Daniel. Her voice cracked like glass. You weren't supposed to see that. I nodded once. I did. Tears filled her eyes. Quiet. Trembling. Helpless. Did you think I was stupid? I asked softly. She shook her head rapidly. No. God, no. Never. Then why lie? Her lips trembled. Because if you knew I wanted you, you would walk away. I swallowed. Hard. Maybe, I said. Maybe not. She stepped closer. I stepped back. She froze again. The truth set between us like a blade. You used him as a shield, I said, so you could get close to me without admitting it. I didn't mean. You did. Her chin fell. You're right. A single tear slipped down her cheek. I didn't wipe it. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't touch her. I didn't comfort her. I did something far worse. I stayed calm. I'm not your escape, I said, and I'm not your cure. She broke. Visibly. Her shoulders shook as she sank into her chair, head in her hands. She looked smaller than I had ever seen her. Softer. Human. The woman from last night, not the boss from this morning. Daniel. I care about you, she whispered. You care about being cared for, I corrected. Silence. Gold. Heavy. Necessary. You want me to heal what he broke, I continued. But that's not love. Her breath caught. I won't be the person you used to forget someone else. Tears kept falling, quiet and desperate. Please don't leave, she whispered. I didn't move. Look at me, I said. She did. Slowly. Brokenly. I'm not leaving, I said.
But I'm not yours. Not like this. She exhaled shakily, relief and pain tangled together. Then, what do I do? Her voice was smaller than I had ever heard. Tell the truth, I said. To yourself first. Her eyes softened. Something inside them shifted. A realization. A fracture. A beginning of change. But not for me. For her. I turned away. Left her office. Closed the door behind me. Not slamming. Just final. She didn't come to work the next day. Or the next. Her office stayed dark. Her chair stayed empty. On the third day, a note appeared on my desk. Not handwritten. Typed. Precise. Controlled. Thank you for saving me. From last night. And from myself. No signature. No explanation. Just acceptance. For the first time in days, my chest loosened. I walked past her office one last time. Looked inside. Saw the empty desk. The silent chair. The dark window. And I felt nothing. No anger. No heartbreak. No longing. Just clarity. She had wanted something from me she wasn't ready to give back. And I had wanted something from her she wasn't capable of offering. Some truths don't shatter you. They free you. I stepped away from her door. Away from the woman who lied. Away from the night that changed everything. Away from the version of myself who would have waited for her. As I reached the exit, my phone buzzed. A message from her. I'll be better next time. For whoever deserves me. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. For the first time, I walked away. Not wounded. Not angry. But clean. And that was the real ending. Quiet. Brutal.